Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Ex-convict gunned down by lone shooter in St. James. The St. James police are investigating the circumstances surrounding the murder of an ex-convict who was shot by a lone gunman in his community on Friday morning. The deceased has been identified as Junior Edwards, also called Coachy, of Bullock Heights, Somerton, St. James. Reports are that about 7:15 a.m., Edwards was leaving a shop where he had purchased cigarettes when he was pounced upon and shot multiple times by a gunman who later fled the scene. Upon the arrival of the police who were summoned, Edwards was found at a garage, lying on his side in a pool of blood. He was taken to the Conroe Regional Hospital where he was pronounced dead. Body found in Moby identified as elderly jerk chicken vendor. The St. James police have commenced their investigation into the circumstances surrounding the shooting death of an elderly jerk chicken vendor in Montego Bay, the parish capital, early Sunday morning. The deceased has been identified as 64-year-old David Garden, popularly called Dave, who was of a Barnett Lane, Montego Bay address. Reports are that about 5:45 a.m., the police were summoned by citizens who reportedly heard a barrage of gunshots coming from the direction of Howard Group Boulevard. Upon the arrival of the police, Garden was seen lying face down in a pool of blood along the roadway with what appeared to be gunshot wounds to his head. The scene was processed and the body removed to the morgue. A motive for the killing has not yet been established. Murder suspect held after confrontation with cops in Westmoreland. A murder suspect was apprehended and a getaway vehicle seized moments after the murder of a man in Maysmere, Little London in Westmoreland on Saturday. Reports are that about 10:40 a.m., one of two men in a white Toyota Axio motor car shot and wounded a bike taxi operator on Top Road, Little London. A policeman who was in the vicinity intervened, which resulted in an armed confrontation. The men escaped in the area, and the wounded man was transported to hospital where he was pronounced dead. The deceased has been identified as 47-year-old Oswald Brown, otherwise called Scatter, of Ebenezer District in Little London in the parish. Shortly after the incident, the police received a voice note in a work WhatsApp group about the vehicle that was involved. A team responded to the incident, where the vehicle and the suspect were seen. The suspect was immediately taken into custody and the vehicle seized. Head of the Westmoreland Division, Superintendent of Police SSP Wayne Joseph, commended the police officers for quickly acting on information that resulted in the apprehension of the murder suspect. This level of commitment and vigilance by my officers is unmatched, and I commend the team leader and the probatory constable who responded to this voice note as soon as it was received. My team of officers demonstrated what it means to be a force of good and principle for service above self, SSP Joseph stated. I must also extend appreciation to all the other team members, including my detective corporal, who intervened while the incident was in progress, putting himself at risk in the defense of law-abiding citizens. I want to take this opportunity to also recognize the role of our citizens continue to play in supporting the Westmoreland Police, SSP Joseph added. Investigations are ongoing. 2 Clarendon delivery men gone missing. Police in Clarendon are seeking the public's help in locating 2 delivery men who mysteriously disappeared in the parish on Friday, April 21. The missing men have been identified as 23-year-old Shane Bryan, otherwise called Blacks, of Treadlight, Clarendon, and 29-year-old Richie Jackson of Bucks Avenue, Maypen in the parish. According to the police, Bryan is of dark complexion, medium build, 5 feet 5 inches tall, and sports a plaited hairstyle. He also walks with a stagger in his right leg. His mode of dress at the time of his disappearance is unknown. Meanwhile, Jackson is of dark complexion, slim build, about 6 feet 1 inch tall, and sports plaited in the center of his head with bald sides. His mode of dress at the time of his disappearance is also unknown. Reports from the Maypen police are that on Friday, April 21, both men who operate in Maypen area met up at a popular location in the town. They left on a motorcycle headed for York District, Clarendon. None of the men have been heard from since. Anyone with information that they believe can help the police in locating these 2 men, please contact the Maypen Police at 876-986-2208 or the Police Emergency 119. 2 shot and injured in Castleton Garden gun attack. 2 men are now nursing gunshot wounds after they were shot and injured in the Castleton area of St. Mary on Saturday. Reporters understand that men traveling in a white Nissan Sylphy motor car opened fire at a 19-year-old barber who was riding his motorbike in the community. The incident reportedly happened near the School Hill, Scolding Valley of Castleton. It is believed that the men alighted from the car and opened fire at Gray. He reportedly received gunshot wounds to his hands. The gunmen then drove off and went further in the community, where they opened fire on a 30-year-old man. Reports are that the prince was sitting on the side of the road when he was attacked. He received gunshot wounds to his back. He was taken to hospital, where he is said to be in serious but stable condition. Upon processing the scene, lawmen reportedly located 4 9mm spent casing. A motive for the shooting has not yet been established. Investigations continue. St. Andrew man caught with stolen vehicle in Kingston charge. A man has been charged with possession of a prohibited weapon and ammunition, as well as 2 counts of shooting with intent, following an incident on Mary Road, Queen Hill in St. Andrew on April 12. Charged is 21-year-old Alwyn Murray of Stock Farm in Stone Hill, St. Andrew. Reports from the Duane Park Police are that about 5:20 a.m., a team went to a premises in the area, and upon their arrival, they saw a motor vehicle parked along the roadway. Checks were done, and they discovered that the vehicle was stolen. Whilst awaiting the tow truck to remove the vehicle, a car drove up with men aboard who opened fire at the police. The police pursued the men, and the vehicle crashed into an embankment along the mentioned main road. Moore was taken from the car and into custody. He was charged after a question and answer session. Butcher held for alleged murder of his 72-year-old wife now charged. Retired butcher, 79-year-old Cecil McDonald, has been charged with the murder of his wife, Yvette, on April 15 in St. Catherine. The retired nurse was allegedly chopped to death in their home at Azard Lane, Bagwalk in St. Catherine. The police allege that Cecil attacked his wife with a machete inside a bathroom about 2 a.m. He was held on the scene following the incident. McDonald was charged on Saturday. His court date is being finalized. Kingston man accused of killing 17-year-old daughter charged. The father who allegedly stabbed his 17-year-old daughter, Sadiqui Calvert, to death in Kingston on February 4 has been charged with murder. He is 39-year-old Terence Calvert, a factory worker of Barry Street in Kingston. The Elliston Road police say about 1:10 a.m., a dispute developed between the father and daughter when a knife was used to inflict a wound to Sequin's chest. She was taken to hospital where she died while receiving treatment. Calvert was arrested at hospital where he was taken after he was found unconscious with his throat and both wrists slashed on April 4. He was treated while under police guard and charged after a question and answer session. Body of unidentified male found along Montego Bay roadway. The body of an unidentified male was discovered along a section of the A.J. Coombs Highway in Montego Bay, St. James on Thursday morning. The body, which is of dark complexion, was discovered lying on its back with the face covered. It is reported that shortly after 8 a.m., a passerby discovered the body at the side of the road in the vicinity of the Bogue sewage plant and summoned the police. The cause of death is not yet known. Confirmed case of influenza A H1N1 in Manchester. A case of influenza A H1N1 has been confirmed at the Mandeville Regional Hospital in Manchester, the Health Ministry stated. Symptoms of the virus include fever, headache, cough, sore throat, running and stuffy nose, muscle aches and extreme tiredness. Nausea, vomiting and diarrhea may also occur, but are more common in children. Persons who experience these symptoms should seek medical attention, said the Ministry of Health and Wellness. The public is being asked to practice frequent hand washing with soap and water, covering mouth and nose when sneezing or coughing, and avoiding contact with persons with flu-like symptoms. Since the outbreak of the pandemic in 2009, the virus has been in circulation in the population. Court gives Leon Issa, Gabriel's mother, 3 months to allow police access to cell phone. A Supreme Court judge has given Amal Leon Issa, the mother of slain 9-year-old Gabriel King, another 3 months to give police investigators access to data in her cellular phone. The police have been trying for months to access the phone data as part of their investigation into King's gruesome murder on January 13 last year. St. James Parish Judge Sasha Marie Ashley first granted the police a production order in September last year, compelling Leon Issa to turn over communication and other data from her iPhone within 48 hours. She challenged the order in court a month later. As a result, it was varied to book her for being present with police investigators, access the phone, but allowed her attorney and a computer expert of her choice to observe the process. In February this year, Leon Issa went back to court to seek judicial review of the revised production. Senior Prison Judge Lorna Shelley Williams, in a ruling on Wednesday, said that the production order was not authorized. As a result, she ordered that St. James businesswoman comply with the order by July 31. The application for leave to seek judicial review of the production order was refused. Justice Shelley Williams noted that the amended production order has several orders that provide safeguards and protects information concerning third parties not associated with the investigations. The production order allows for the extraction of the information from the iPhone to be undertaken in the presence of the applicant's attorney, as well as an approved computer expert of the applicant's choosing. The judge ruled, making reference to Leon Issa. The judge noted also that the law puts safeguards in place to allow for cops to be charged and placed before the court if any information extracted from the iPhone is disclosed to the public. According to the police, Leon Issa reported that she was slapped in the face and dragged from her vehicle by two men after she slowed down to navigate a pothole-riddled corridor while driving along the Tucker Main Road towards downtown Montego Bay at about 9:30 a.m. on January 13, 2022. The men sped off in the vehicle with Gabriel still on the back seat. The vehicle was found abandoned on the Fairfield Main Road several hours later with the body of the 9-year-old boy soaked in blood. A bloody knife that was found beside Gabriel King's body was confirmed to be the murder weapon, said investigators, citing DNA analysis of the blood sample. Please remember to subscribe, like,